Hey Nav, hey Greg.
Good morning.
Hey,
How's
happy weekly
everybody
sip
doing?
day.
Yeah, good
Doing
day for a sip.
good. hmm
What day isn't good for a sip?
That's
There
true.
you
That's
go.
true.
Let's
What
be
are we
honest.
working
Maybe
on lately?
everybody else and not in our profession.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, what have we been working on? Anything in the pipeline?
So now I thought our case that we're working on currently in regards to ownership in a company and how it relates to whether or not you can defer your RMD withdrawals from the company sponsored 401k.
Yep.
I thought it's very timely and it's a unique nuance that is built in the IRS code. So you've done some research and we're providing that to the client that we're walking through this with him. So just a quick outline of the case. Our client is looking to transition his business to three current employees, has a large 401k balance and a large IRA balance. And the way that we're hoping to structure this deal is going to keep him employed for right now 10 years. Maybe they do a buyout and it's a little bit less than 10 years. So it provides the opportunity to use this IRS nuance regarding deferring RMDs past the age of 73.
Right,
Right.
because I just looked up this client's age. This particular client looks like he just turned 72.
Yes.
Okay.
Just heard. So R&D age in 2025. So the timing is absolutely perfect for him
Yeah.
based on this rule. So Nav, you did some research last week on this. So give us a little bit of details in and around this rule.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really unique because RMD, for people who don't understand that, is just a required minimum distribution on assets that has not been taxed yet, whether federally or state. And when we look at that, the government says you've put money in tax free. Now that the money is ready to be distributed, we have to get our share back. So you have to take a certain percentage of your balance on 12/31 of the previous year during the year you turn 73 and onward. So that means the money coming out is going to be fully taxable. So you're going to get an increase in your taxable income. Unless you are working and that money is in a 401k or a qualified retirement plan, like 403b, 401k, TSP, you can actually avoid taking a RMD because you're still working. Um, but if it's in an IRA and you're 73, even though you're still working, money has to come out of your IRA, your SEP IRA, simple IRA, because you're no longer, it's not in a 401k or a qualified retirement plan. So if you're working, great. But then if you're an owner of a business uh, and you're still working, that rule does not apply to you. The government says, IRS says, you still have to take your RMD if you were a 5% owner of a business, regardless of you're working or not. So if you have an IRA outside and a 401k and you're still working, the possibility of a very big increase of your taxable income is high.
Mhm.
So one way to structure it, like Greg was just saying, is if you have the desire to continue working, but you don't want to be running the business anymore as a business owner, you can actually sell your portion of the business to get below that 5% threshold, and then to another employee or another company, and you say, "Hey, during this deal, I still want to work.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give up my ownership. You're still working. And then what you have to do, if you have an IRA outside of the 401k, is then do a backdoor rollover into the plan. So then you
Oh,
no longer have your IRA.
so
Yep.
he's going to move his IRA into his 401k, and then because he is employee, non-owner only, he'll be able to defer these for the next 10 years, which is obviously the number, his magic number for that kind of agreement. But wow, yeah, that's a probably pretty significant savings for him, especially because who knows what that, right? These old business owners that are going through the business succession are arguably key employees, whether you're an owner or not. So
Mhm.
I have to imagine his salary is going to be pretty high to then take those RMDs like you mentioned, getting higher. So wow, good strategy.
Exactly.
Well, and two interesting nuances, which sometimes I get or I do some eye rolls when reading the IRS code on what, where did this rule come from and who was the author of this rule. But basically it's a one-time look to see if you're a 5% owner or not.
Oh, wow.
So there is the article, one of the articles that Nav found to support our recommendation was basically said that in this one time, you can be 0% owner, but then in subsequent years, you can actually acquire more than 5% ownership of that same company
Wow.
Yeah.
and still defer the 401k RMD,
Yeah.
which is interesting to know. And it seems off, but one time look, and the way that I was thinking about this weekend, we're using the company stock as collateral
Right.
for this client. So if the three employees default on the note, because he's personally holding the note, there's going to be no bank financing, and he has to take back the stock. It's independent of this RMD unless it
Right.
happens in that first year. Hopefully they don't default on the note in year one.
Right, right, right.
But that's another kind of fail safe safety net, whatever you want to call it, for this client that really lines up nicely with his age and the timing of this business transition. So
Yeah.
I love it. I would say we're on the 20-yard line right now. We just need to punch it in like the Steelers couldn't do, but still won, unfortunately. So I had to get a little.
I had to throw that one in there.
Had to get it in.
I
Well,
do have
good.
Chris Boswell on my fantasy team, so I still won, so to speak,
There you go.
because he had 30 points, with 6 field goals, but it's painful.
Painful.
2-point conversion. What kind of play call was
Mm,
that?
Yeah.
I
mm,
Well,
mm.
good.
digress. I apologize.
Good topic for those looking at business succession. I mean, 72 is a good age, if not before, to start having that plan in place. So great, great tool for those um, generations of business owners that are starting to transition out. So good tips. Talk to your accountant, talk to your advisors, coordinate it all together. You need the okay from them, but yeah, it's a great loophole. So
Exactly.
awesome. Good find, guys. All right. Till the next
All
one.
right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Dean.
Bye.